All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is a TikTok migrant influencer arrested and deported. Guys, most likely this is going to be about the new case, of the Migrant King, the guy who was just blatantly telling people to squat in people's houses, the one who was trying to basically get people to put money together to get out a 15-year-old that decided that it was going to be a great idea to start firing in the middle of Times Square while hitting a Brazilian tourist. Yeah, most likely we're going to experience something about the Migrant King, and let's check it out. This is coming from the channel NYC Uncovered, and if you do like this specific type of content, make sure you guys go ahead and check them out over there. All right, and let's go ahead and check out the video immediately.
A Venezuelan national dubbed the migrant influencer is at the center of controversy this morning. He has been using TikTok to coach migrants how to live in the U.S. by taking advantage of laws protecting squatters.
Controversial TikTok video, Moreno was telling his followers to avoid living on the streets in the United States. They can, quote, invade empty homes and live there, saying under U.S. law, if a house is uninhabited.
There are things better left unsaid, but that's not the case of a Venezuelan migrant TikToker, Leonel Moreno. This TikToker has been arrested by ICE. Moreno is a Venezuelan immigrant who entered the country illegally on April 23, 2022. Moreno was enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program by Border Patrol and instructed to present himself at the Enforcement and Removal Operations Office within 60 days of reaching his intended location.
Yeah, he didn't go.
This individual took to social media platforms, urging fellow migrants to come to the country and invade the residences of American citizens, while proudly displaying bundles of money and showcasing what he claimed were government assistance programs. In one of his posts, he said, "I didn't cross the Rio Grande to work like a slave. I came to the U.S. to mark my territory." His videos went viral, causing the popularity to get to his head. On another occasion, he accused Americans of being hurt because they work like slaves. And at the end of the day, he gets paid without doing much work. That was a slap on taxpayers.
Bro.
TikTok recently closed Moreno's...
Listen, bro, we get it. Trust me. Us as Americans, we fully understand that taxes are a little crazy for us occasionally, right? And then for you to then say, I come to your country, you guys are the slaves because you're working to give the government money so the government can give me money. That's basically what he's saying here. And that's wild to do, while literally flashing money in all of your videos and then telling people to come to the country specifically to squat in other people's houses. Bro, you cannot make this up.
...his account, which had approximately 500,000 followers. However, his Instagram account, with over 17,000 followers, remains active. Even after blocking his TikTok, he took to his other social media platforms and continued his rant. These videos attracted the attention of both the authorities and ICE. Following his illegal border crossing, Moreno was admitted into the Alternatives to Detention program upon his arrival in the U.S. As part of this program, he was placed under surveillance through a tracking device. However, shortly after his release, Moreno ceased to cooperate and neglected to attend a scheduled check-in with the authorities. Moreno has been apprehended by ICE's fugitive operations officers in Columbus, Ohio, on Friday, and is presently detained at Gaga County Jail. With the new wave of immigrant violence, ICE is no longer backing down.
We're with ICE as they took down 4 alleged child and an MS-13 gang member, all in a single morning.
Federal immigration agents sought to arrest an undocumented immigrant from Guatemala who faced 9 charges of child abuse in Massachusetts. However, the state's sanctuary policy prevented his arrest, resulting in the alleged case being dismissed. In just one day, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, apprehended 5 illegal aliens in the Boston area. 4 of them are accused of forcing themselves on children. An MS-13 member from El Salvador was also arrested. This particular individual had been released after being charged with violent crimes. Yet ICE plans to clear the streets of these illegal criminals because they are becoming a threat to the citizens.
Are undocumented immigrants from Guatemala. They face various charges, but the sheriff's office says they forced a woman into a car, then committed battery on her at 2 different locations.
3 Guatemalan immigrants are facing accusations of abducting a woman and assaulting her at 2 different locations near Lake Worth Beach. Fortunately, the victim managed to escape and seek help from a passerby. Andres Felipe Morales, 29, Darinel Ordonez Jimenez, 30, and Marcos Felipe Ramirez.
And guys, so I'm not trying to paint everyone as one very specific thing, but the concept of femicide, like specifically deleting someone because they are a woman, runs rampant in some of these nations where some of these people are coming from. All right. And so it's not surprising to me that this is an option for them, for some of them when they do come here. Okay, doesn't surprise me, but it does not take away the fact that it's absolutely terrible. It is terrible, bro. It's terrible here. It's terrible there. But for some reason, it's not punished at the same rate as it is, in other nations. Okay. Do we want these individuals specifically that have that type of mentality to come here and start doing what they do there? Bro, come on.
31 were taken into custody and placed in the Palm Beach County Jail on Monday evening. At their initial court appearance on Tuesday, bail was established at $200,000 for each individual, and their next court date is scheduled for 10:30 a.m. on April 10th. This is where it gets worse. A man named Corey Alvarez, aged 26, was taken into custody and accused of assaulting a handicapped minor at a hotel in Rockland that was being utilized as temporary housing for migrants.
Comfort last week and then assaulted her. The hotel is being used as an emergency shelter for migrant families.
The incident occurred at the Comfort Inn on Hingham Street on Wednesday evening. Both Alvarez and the victim were residents of the hotel. According to the Plymouth County District Attorney, a staff member at the front desk contacted 911 to report that a 15-year-old girl with disabilities had been assaulted. The victim, who communicates in French Creole, informed the police with the help of translators that Alvarez had forcefully forced himself on her in his room, while she sought assistance with an app on her tablet. Despite her telling Alvarez to stop, he persisted. He is being held without bail.
Good.
It doesn't end there. A Venezuelan migrant has been accused of assaulting a woman on the UIC campus earlier this month.
This Jesus Hernandez Pernalete, who also goes by Luis Guevara, has been charged with criminal abuse, aggravated
Bro, it doesn't end.
battery and robbery and attempted robbery.
Elvis Hernandez Pernalete, a 27-year-old man also known as Luis Guevara, reportedly pursued a woman from the UIC Halsted Blue Line station at approximately 8 p.m. on March 16th, attempting to seize her from behind. He is accused of stealing her possessions, committing assault, and then escaping the scene. To make matters worse, court documents indicate that Hernandez Pernalete assaulted another woman after trailing her from a different train station. He faces charges of criminal abuse, aggravated battery and robbery, and attempted robbery. On March 9th, Hernandez Pernalete was allegedly observed removing items from clothing racks at a TJ Maxx and placing them in his backpack before exiting the store. A judge denied his request for pretrial release on Thursday, citing his history of targeting victims from trains.
Behind bars and faces a felony charge in the death of a woman from Grand Rapids.
Yeah, it's after 25-year-old
Michigan
Garcia was found dead on US 131 over the weekend.
A man who was deported from the United States in 2020 has been accused of taking the life of a woman in Michigan in cold blood after he is alleged to have re-entered the country illegally. Brandon Ortiz Vita, a 25-year-old man, has been accused of a terrible crime. He is believed to have gruesomely taken the life of a young woman named Ruby Garcia in a drunken attempt to steal her car. Ruby Garcia, who was also 25 years old, was found dead with wounds on a road called US 131. This happened late at night on a Friday. The police found Ruby's car parked in a neighborhood the next day. Then, on Sunday, Brandon Ortiz Vite called 911 and said he wanted to talk to the authorities. He was arrested and taken to jail. It will shock you to know that Brandon Ortiz Vite had some previous issues with immigration. He was arrested by enforcement and removal operations in Detroit in August 2020. He was ordered to leave the country by an immigration judge in September 2020 and was sent back to Mexico. However, at some point, he returned to the United States without permission from immigration officials. Currently, Brandon Ortiz Vite is being held in the Kent County Jail in Michigan. He is facing serious charges, including carjacking, carrying a hidden weapon, and dangerously using a firearm. It is now up to the justice system to determine what will happen next. And when we thought it was going to get better, it was caught sneaking over the border.
We start at the southern border with breaking details. Officials are detaining a man who is claiming to be a Hezbollah. This 22-year-old man crossed into the U.S. illegally.
A Lebanese migrant who was apprehended while illegally crossing the border.
Bro, listen. Lebanon does not border with the United States of America, bro. All right, it doesn't.
Confessed to being affiliated with Hezbollah and expressed intentions to create a... He revealed that his ultimate goal was to reach New York. Basil Abadi, a 22-year-old, was caught by the U.S. Border Patrol on March 9th near El Paso, Texas. When asked why he was in the U.S., he replied, "I'm going to try to make a..." However, in a later interview, Abadi claimed that he was trying to escape from Lebanon and Hezbollah because he didn't want to harm people. He mentioned that once you join Hezbollah, it's impossible to leave.
But yet, the first thing you say when someone asks you, "Why are you here?" you say you're trying to make something go boom, right? Is that what you say? Come on, bro.
Abadi confessed during his arrest that he had trained with Hezbollah for 7 years and served as an active member guarding weapons locations for another 4 years. Abadi entered the U.S. without any documents, stating that he was robbed at knife point in Costa Rica.
Right. Meaning that as soon as he crossed the border, he threw all of his documentation to the ground somewhere random, like we can see on other videos of people crossing through the border fence. They just throw their documents on the ground, bro. It's better to be whoever you want to be than who you actually are, right?
He also admitted to using fake information, including a false birthday and name, in Sweden, Ecuador, where he claimed his father lives, and Panama this year. Originally, he had planned to go to New York and then travel around the country. Due to his statements about making threats to personnel, Abadi was immediately placed in isolation and scheduled for an interview with the Tactical Response Team. He has been identified for deportation from the U.S. based on internal documents.
Right, there's no chance you're staying here, bro.
But the destination country was not specified. Border agents are still observing a rise in migrants with names on the watch list entering the U.S. illegally, as crossings remain at record highs. Border agents documented 98 encounters with individuals on the watch list at both the northern and southern borders in fiscal year 2022, and nearly double that number.
Bro, don't even put the razor wire up. It's irrelevant.
172 in fiscal year 2023, which concludes on September 30. In the first 4 months of 2024, 59 individuals have been apprehended, according to federal data. These migrants now break the border fence wall trying to force themselves into the United States.
Migrants after they broke through a razor wire fence in El Paso, according to Customs and Border Protection.
Over 100 migrants were detained for attempting to cross the U.S.-Mexico border on Sunday, as confirmed by authorities in both countries. A group of Central American migrants rushed the southern border, causing chaos near San Isidro, California, the biggest port of entry on the border. Some individuals tried to break through the existing fence, and even threw objects at Customs and Border Protection officers. It will interest you to know that the demonstration initially started as a peaceful protest, urging the U.S. to speed up the handling of asylum requests. But it turned violent when migrants started throwing rocks at Border Patrol officers. In response, CBP agents used tear gas to disperse the crowd due to safety concerns for the agents. CBP Commissioner Kevin McAleenan announced on Monday that 69 individuals were apprehended while trying to enter the U.S. unlawfully. An additional 39 were taken into custody on the Mexican side of the border. Those who were detained for attempting to forcefully breach the border will face deportation. Also, the National Migration Institute of Mexico informed the Associated Press that 98 migrants who were detained in Mexico for trying to cross the border are currently awaiting deportation. Former President Donald Trump took it a step further and tweeted, "Mexico should move the flag-waving migrants, many of whom are stone-cold criminals, back to their countries. Do it by plane, do it by bus, do it any way you want, but they are not coming into the USA. We will close the border permanently if need be." Congress, fund the wall.
Okay, so here's the thing. Many of them are not. But there is a percentage of them who absolutely are like the ones that we just encountered here. God, guys, it never ended. All right. I'm not sure that we should just be openly accepting people like at the border. Like specifically if you're from a country that doesn't border our country. Like how many other safe countries have you entered into, bro? That had nothing to do with the reason why you're trying to seek asylum. I want to know. Right? Like, how many countries did you go through that had nothing to do with the reason why you're looking to? See, think about that for a second here. Like, you can't just get out of the country and be safe in whatever nation you land in. right? Just try that. Don't just come straight to America, bro. But all right, listen, you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. And again, the videos comes from the channel NYC Uncovered, guys. Check them out. I'll catch you guys later. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.